In this case of Article 370 case, government led by BJP has clarity and Supreme Court, which is expected to examine dissolution of 370, doesn't seem to have clarity on the issue. Government seem to have a clear ideology, whereas Supreme Court doesn't seem to have clear ideology, no ideology. I would say no ideology regarding even what is constitution for. So unclear Supreme Court versus the government with an ideology, I would say this. And finally, Government 1. So how can we say that government has a clarity and the Supreme Court doesn't have? What is the clarity of the government? This I am calling because we are calling it is, let us say it is Modi's clarity. Okay. We can assume, we are more or less sure that Modi ji, as a product of RSS thinking, believing in Hindutva, has a particular understanding of history of India and a particular understanding of what India should be. He has an understanding of the past and he has an understanding of what it should be. And that understanding can be summarized in the concept of Hindutva. So, how did they look at India in the first place? They look at India as a Hindu state. That is Hindu's land. This land belongs to Hindus. That is the most important point. And because of which Muslims cannot create Pakistan. And Muslims in India cannot claim any special status. That is the point. Okay. So, this is a Hindu land meant for Hindus. So, no to partition and no to special status to Muslims. Okay. Because of which constitution that gave special status, that is Article 370, is wrong. So special status itself is wrong. And in fact, secularism itself is wrong. Because Hindus should have been given priority over Muslims. Okay. Let us leave this concept of Hindus being given priority over Muslims for the time being, the concept of secularism. But let us look at this idea, Hindu land. So, because the government, the BJP or RSS never believed that there should have been special status in the first place, and dedicated to removing the special status from day one. And why did they remove now? Because now they have the power on their side. Okay, so Hindu land makes it Article 370 wrong, and now we have power. And using power, I would say they did addition to the constitution, and special status removed and made a union territory. So which means Narendra Modi has a clarity on what he is doing. Okay, he always opposed to 370, and he removed it when he got the first occasion to remove it. And he had opposed because, or the people who were committed to the ideology were opposed because it was a Hindu land. Okay, but then what is the assumption of the constitution? The constitution says it is not a Hindu land. It is not a Hindu land, but this is a land to all. Which means Kashmir belongs to neither Hindus nor Muslims, but Kashmir belongs to Kashmiris. Neither Hindus nor Muslims. And so Kashmiris should accept to be part of India. And Kashmiris, being Muslims, they were not willing. And because the problem in Jammu and Kashmir is not coming from Hindus of Jammu and Kashmir, but from Muslims of Jammu and Kashmir. So, to secure their acceptance, certain promises were made. Okay. And you can say that 370 is one such kind of an arrangement. So essentially, Kashmir belongs to Kashmiris, and for them to be a part of India, some special arrangements are made. RSS always rejected this because Kashmir did not belong to Kashmiris. Kashmir belonged to Hindus. So, Constitution took a turn which Constitution took a turn explicitly rejecting RSS kind of thinking. Okay. So, when this issue came to Supreme Court, who has to defend the Constitution? Doesn't seem to have the clarity on the issue. So what does he say about this is India's land and so there shouldn't have been any special status in the first place? What does he say? What does he say on whether Article 370 should have been there in the beginning or not? So what are his arguments against BJP's ideological arguments? Was he in a position to say, no, Constitution rejected your ideology long ago and Kashmir belonged to Kashmiris, their consent is needed, and Article 370 is one such? he doesn't seem to have a vision of the constitution. What all he has is that India has to be one, and Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part. But what are the conditions under which it is an integral part, and more importantly, what are the conditions behind all the states coming under Indian Republic? What are the assumptions of unity and integrity? He doesn't seem to be clear on this issue. And more importantly, specific to Jammu and Kashmir, when he says Jammu and Kashmir, all states in the country have legislative and executive powers to different degrees, and Article 371 to 371 are examples of special arrangements for different states. This is an example as a symmetrical relation, that is 370. So to him, if 370 is similar to 371, what can we say? Not much discussion is possible with Chief Justice, who doesn't know that these two are entirely different things. So he lacks vision, understanding of the foundational values, and not knowing the difference between 370 and 371. So Modi ji has a clarity, has a historical mission, has an idea of history, has an idea of the past, has an idea of the present, has an idea of future. So Modi ji has clarity of past, clarity of present, clarity of future, and now he got power to reshape future. But what does CJ have? I don't see anything except confusion.